Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 1 English lesson on subject verb agreement. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca, with our username as well as our password, we're doing grade 1. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of subject verb agreement. All right. So when it comes to subject verb agreement, right? We said firstly, our chapter is subject verb agreement. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 1. And in the lessons that we are going to be focusing on, because this is a continuation of our previous lesson, complete the subject, complete the sentence with the base subject. And we're going to pronoun verb agreement. We need to complete the sentence with the base verb. All right. So this is going to be our lessons for today. We need to complete the sentence with the base subject and pronoun verb agreement. We need to complete the sentence with the base verb. All right. So when it comes to subject verb agreement, right, we said that our subject needs to agree with our verb And in some of the sentences, right? Some of the sentences are literally only making mention of one person. So some sentences, it's about one person, it's about one animal, one place, or it's about one thing. And another word for that is, we call that the subject, right? If you're talking about one person, one animal, one place, one thing, we call that the subject. So if the subject is only making mention of either one person, one animal, one place, one thing within that sentence, then we need to add an is to our verb. Then we need to add is to our verb. And an example of that, right, is an example is Kate walks the dog. So Kate is the one person, and what does Kate do? She walks the dog. So walks is our verb, and as you can see, our verb ends with an is. Because we're only making mention of one person, which is Kate, that's doing something. And then we have some of the sentences, right? Some of the sentences are also about more than one person, more than one animal, more than one place, or more than one thing. And when it comes to our sentence, right, being about more than one person, more than one animal, more than one place, or more than one thing, then in those sentences, we do not add an is to the verb. We do not add an is to the verb. And if we look at an example, right, of a sentence that makes mention of more than one person, animals, place, or thing, Then we can say Ron and Mike. This is more than one person. This is two people. So Ron and Mike make dinner. So not makes dinner. We only say make dinner. What is Ron and Mike doing? They make dinner. Not makes dinner, they make dinner. Right? Because if two or more people are doing something, we don't add an is to our verb. All right. So we're going to look at a few more examples, right, of subject verb agreement. And how, when we are making mention of one person, and if we look at it, I'm going to write down a sentence, right? And then we're going to say whether we need to add one verb or more than one verb. All right. And now it says, for example, we say Anna. Do we say Anna eat, or do we say Anna eats too many sweets? So we need to choose the correct option between bracket. Do we say Anna eat or Anna eats too many sweets? So we need to choose the correct option between the brackets. Then we have another one. We say they refer to more than one person. So do we say they play, or do we say they plays the violin? The baby, do we say sleep, or do we say the baby sleep peacefully? We now need to choose the correct option between brackets. And remember, we said that if our within our sentence, right? If we're talking about one person, one animal, one place, or one thing, then our verb ends with an S. If we are talking about more than one person, animal, place, or thing doing something, then our verb do not end with an S. All right. And if we were to choose the correct option between bracket, then we will say Anna. Anna's one person, right? So Anna's one person. So one person, do we say Anna eat too many sweets or do we say Anna eats too many sweets? What is the correct option? Anna eat too many sweets, the first one, or Anna eats too many sweets, the second one? So we need to choose the correct option. All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then we would say Anna eats too many sweets because it's one person doing something, which means that our verb ends with an S. One person. Now they say they are more than one person. Do we say they play the violin or do we say they plays the violin? Which one is correct? They play the violin or they plays the violin? All right. And if we were to choose the best option, right, we see that if more than one person does something, if more than one person does something, then our verb does not end with an S. So we can say they play the violin. So they play the violin, not they plays the violin, they play the violin. Because more than one person play, one person plays the violin. And the last one says the baby. Do we say the baby sleeps peacefully or do we say the baby sleep peacefully? The baby is one person. And one person, do we say one person sleeps or do we say one person sleep? And one person, which is the baby, we can say the baby sleeps peacefully, right? So this is but a few examples of subject verb agreement, right? And how if one person, animal, place, or thing does something, then we add an is to a verb. If more than one person, animal, place, or thing does something, we do not add an is to our verb. All right, so now we're going to A plus students.ca, and we're going to complete the sentence with the best subject. All right, so now we're going to complete this sentence, right? So we're going to complete the sentence. Here it says, picks flowers in the garden. Who picks flowers in the garden? Do we say the girl? Look at this word. Picks flowers in the garden. Or do we say girls picks flowers in the garden? Who picks flowers in the garden? And if we were to choose the correct one, we would say the girl picks flowers in the garden. So the girl picks flowers in the garden. One person picks flowers in the garden. One person. All right. The next one. It says play with dolls. We need to say who plays with dolls. Do we say Jenny play with dolls? Or do we say they play with dolls? Which one is correct? Well done. The girl is correct. So the girl is correct. Now the next one says, do we say Jenny play with dolls? Or do we say they play with dolls? And if we were to choose the correct option, right, between Jenny or they that play, then we would say more than one person. They play with dolls. More than one person play with dolls. All right. And if we look at the last one before we do our test, it says, come. The word come. Not comes, but come to my house every day. Do I say Jack come to my house every day? Or do we say the boys come to my house every day? Which one is correct? So do we say Jack come to my house every day? Or do we say the boys come to my house every day? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, we can say the boys come to my house every day. The boys. They come to my house every day. Right? All right, so now we're going to our test. We're going to complete the sentences with the base subject. Subject, right? So we're going to choose the base subject between option one or option two in order to complete the sentence. It says, finds some bears. Do we say the park rangers finds some bears, or do we say the park ranger finds some bears? Option one, more than one person finds some bears, or one person, which is the park ranger, finds some bears. Which one is correct? So which one is correct? Option one or option two? And if we were to choose the correct option, we would say option two. One person, which is the park ranger, finds some brown bears. The next one says, do we say the lions see the monkey in the trees? Or do we say the lion, one lion, see the monkeys in the tree? Which one is correct? Do we say the lions, more than one, option one? Or one lion, option two, see the monkeys in the tree? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, then we will say the lie the lions, more than one lion, see the monkeys in the tree. More than one lion sees the monkey in the tree. They see the monkey in the tree. The next one says, do we say the girls, option one, kicks the ball to Dana? Or do we say the girl, one girl, kicks the ball to Dana? Which one is correct? We need to choose the correct option. Option one, the girls, or option two, the girl. And if we were to choose the correct one, we will say the girl, option two, one girl kicks the ball to Dana. One girl. Oopsie. The next one says, do we say the king's picks flowers in the garden? Or do we say one king, option two, picks flowers in the garden? Which one is correct? So the king's option one, or the king option two. We need to say which one is correct. And if we were to choose the correct option, we would say the king, one king, picks flowers in the garden. All right, so now we're going to pronoun verb agreement, right? So the pronoun, it takes the place of a noun. And remember, a noun is, it names a person, an animal, a place, or things. Instead of saying somebody's name, the pronoun that takes the place of that noun. So now we'll say things like she and he and it and they. So some sentences, right, are about one person or thing. And in those sentences, we add an S to the verb. For example, instead of saying Anna, we say she walks the dog. Instead of mentioning the object, we say it rolls under the bed. And we still add our S to our verb if one person, animal, or thing does something. And if more than one person, or more than one thing, or more than one animal does something, then within those sentences, we do not add an is. For example, instead of, for example, saying the boys, we can say they. They refers to more than one boy or girl, depending. So they make dinner. We is myself and somebody else. We love ice cream. And then when some of our sentences are about you or about I, then within those sentences, we do not add an S also to our verb. So you eat an apple, but not you eats an apple. You eat an apple, or I need some help. We don't add an S to our verb. All right, so now we're going to our test. We're going to our test, right? And we're going to complete the sentence by choosing the best verb, the action, the verb. It says we hold hands, option one, or we holds hands, option two. Which one is correct? So we need to choose the correct option. Do we say we hold hands, or do we say we holds hands? And if we were to choose the correct option, we will say we hold hands. We, do we say we stay with the Wilsons, option one, or we stays with the Wilsons, option two? Which one is correct? And we will say we stay with the Wilson. We stay with the Wilsons. The next one says they. Do we say they grow oranges trees, or they grows oranges trees? Which one is correct? They. Do they say grow or grows oranges trees? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, we would say they grow. They grow oranges trees. All right, we say we. Do we say we wins the game, or do we say we win the game? Which one is correct? We wins the game, or do we say we win the game? All right. And here we say we. Do we say we wins or win? So we can say we win the game. More than one person win the game. All right, and we are doing the last one. Do we say he work with my mom, or do we say he works with my mom? Which one is correct? He work with my mom or my mother. He works with my mother. Which one is correct? So do we say he work with my mother, or do we say he works with my mother? We need to choose the correct option. All right, and we can say he works. Because remember, one person, our verb ends with an S. So he works with my mother. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on subject verb agreement. We said our subject needs to agree with our verb. If our subject, which refers to one person, animal, place, or thing, the subject does something, then our verb ends with an S. One person does something, the verb ends with an S. If more than one person does something, our verb do not end with an S. A pronoun takes the place of a noun. So instead of saying Anna, we say words like she. Instead of Jack, we say he, or we say they, or we say it, right? So that basically just takes the place of a noun. And in the same with the pronoun. One person does something, our verb ends with an S. If more than one person does something, our verb do not end with an S. All right, and this is now the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade ones, for joining the class. And I really hope you're going to have a good day further. Goodbye.